What is up, my Squirtleites? It is I, your king, welcoming you back to more Let's Play Pokemon Emerald. In the last episode, we got our very first Pokemon, Toothless the Treecko. And in this episode, we're going to be heading on out from Littleroot-Town after having only lived here for a grand total of, I think, 20 minutes. And, yeah, we're going to be heading on it. Oh, well, I guess Mom has to leave some sentiments with us before we go. I suppose, Mom. Yes, it's an adorable Pokemon. You got it from Professor Birch. How nice. You're your father's child, all right? You look good together with Pokemon. Here, honey, if you're going out on an adventure, wear these running shoes. They'll put a zip in your step. And we switch the shoes with the running shoes. Levi, those shoes came with Wait, shoes come with instructions? Oh, those must be some, special shoes if you need instructions. You know, never mind. Never mind. Ignore my really bad sense of humor. Let's just get a move on. So now we can run around and sprint. The caveat to sprinting, of course, is that it does increase the rate at which Pokemon appear when you're running through grass. Actually, don't quote me on that, because I think in Generation 3, at the very least, that is not the case. I don't think they actually adjusted encounter rates in Generation 3 if you're sprinting, but in Generation 4 onward, I know for a fact that they did. So I think actually there isn't really a consequence to running through. Like, as you can see right there, I don't really think there is actually a consequence. So let's head on inside the Pokemon Center real quick. I just need to heal up Toothless before we get going on any further. So, as is the case with any other Pokemon Let's Play I've done, I do have a team in mind, and the team that I want to use, of course, in this run-through of Pokemon Emerald is going to be entirely comprised of nothing but Generation 3 Pokemon. So, I do have some Pokemon in mind, but it's going to be a little bit before we get our first team member, so just bear with me. It's going to be a bit of a solo run for Toothless, at least for a little while. But everything will come together by the end, I promise. So this guy that was out sketching footprints, he says, I finished sketching the footprints of a rare Pokemon, but it turns out they were only my own footprint. Wait a minute, you didn't see the fact that there was like a shoe size imprinted into the You're an idiot. Okay, well, whatever. Let's get a move on. We're now heading on out of Oldale Town into Route 102, and we have a couple new Pokemon that can be gotten on this route. The first of which is Lotad. Lotad is a grass water type Pokemon that eventually evolves into Ludicolo. It is really the core of its abilities revolve around its ability Swift Swim, which when you have Rain Dance makes Lotad significantly faster, especially once it becomes a Ludicolo. It actually makes for one of the most difficult Pokemon to deal with in the main game, as you will no doubt see much later on, and not to mention its only weakness is flying. Well, and bug. Flying and bug. But in Generation 3, you don't really have to worry about bug moves all that much, at least in Emerald. Not a lot of bug-type Pokemon in Emerald learn, any bug moves beyond, like, Fury Cutter, for instance. And then another Pokemon, that can be found on this route is Ralts. Now, Ralts is a pure Psychic type in this generation. It didn't get its Fairy typing until much later. And it is typically the de facto Psychic type for most people playing through Generation 3. They typically, people typically say, go for Ralts if you want a Psychic type. You can get Abra in here. Of course, you do need to trade to get Kadabra to evolve into Alakazam, so that is one of the problems. Not to mention, catching Abra is really difficult in its own right because it teleports away. But on the flip side, Ralts is difficult to catch because it only has a 5% encounter rate on this route alone. So if you have to be patient, but if you can eventually get one, it's a very solid Psychic type, more defensive focused than offensive focused like Abra, as it eventually, evolves up into Gardevoir. And it really does pack a punch, though, even despite its defensive focus. So really, really good Psychic type if that's what you want to go for. I would say the best Psychic type you can get in this entire game, as a matter of fact, because the only Pokemon that I would consider better is another victim of the pre-physical special split, as we will get into much later. So let's head on up here and run into another fight that I will subsequently cut out, and we move on to our next trainer. Hello there. This is, I believe, another bug catcher, so let's take this guy down. I'm sure he's just got a pair of Wurmple or something like that. Oh, no, he's got a actually, that's a youngster with a Zigzagoon. What am I even saying? Okay, well, at least I can finally use Absorb to get some of my health back. Even though Absorb is pretty small time, I mean, it's at least something. Okay, fine, Growl. That's not really going to affect my Absorb, but okay, sir. But yeah, you can also catch the likes of Wurmple, Zigzagoon, and I believe Poochyena on this route as well. just in case you missed any of those in the previous routes. They'll also be at slightly higher levels than before. Like, I think level 4 is like what you can catch them at, when on the previous routes they were only level 2 and 3. But I digress. So, after we defeat this trainer, I'll be able to show something else that is specific to Generation 3. Okay, fine. I will use my physical attacks, even though it used Growl. Oh, boy. Oh, jeez, that hurt. Okay, that's an issue. You know, and now that I think about it, I really do need to actually catch my Zigzagoon because of, well, I mean, while we're here, you know, for HM Slave purposes. Alright, can you, like, not keep using that, please? I would really appreciate it. Hey, use another peck. Uh-huh. This is not a crit. And down goes Tailo. Okay, we cannot actually catch Tailo yet. We can on a later route, but at the moment that is not possible. So now, before we go any further, I want to introduce you guys to the berry system. Berry trees. Berry trees can be found all over Hoenn. All sorts of various berries that have different purposes. Some of them are for medicinal purposes. Others are for what are called Pokeblocks, which we will get into what those are much, much later on. If this were Ruby or Sapphire, we would actually be getting into Pokemon contests relatively soon. But because this is Pokemon Emerald, I'm not going to be discussing Pokemon contests probably actually until we get to the end game. There is a town before we get to the end where contests are featured, but I'm probably not going to jump into any of that until, again, we reach the end game. So, yeah, don't expect any of that for a while, but, well, I guess I can just take care of this last trainer before we finish off this route. And I do, like I said, I need to stop and I need to catch myself a Zigzagoon. Probably going to name it something simple. I don't know, like Ziggy. Because that's super creative. But, I mean, like I said, it's just going to be an HM Slave. We're not really going to use it for much else, so. Unfortunately, as much as I actually do unironically love using Zigzagoon and Linoon, like, it's a legit good Pokemon. If you can get a nice belly drum build put together, you know, and maximize its speed, it can pack a heck of a punch. So I would highly recommend you get, you know, getting a Linoon if you want a good normal type. It's not bad. Yes, it's a little bit of a glass cannon. It's a little bit frail on the defensive end, but honestly, Linoon is, as far as most, you know, generational typical HM slaves go, I would say it's one of the best. Also, this is Shroomish right here. Now, Shroomish actually is a bit of a concern because Shroomish can pack Effect Spore, which means every single time you physically attack it, or direct attack it. I don't know why they were split in this game, why direct and physical aren't the same, but whatever. Direct attacks on Shroomish have a 30% chance of inflicting you with a status effect, whether that's paralysis, poison, or sleep. And that's something that you're going to have to worry about whenever you're fighting one of these things. Just an FYI. Get out of here, please. Now, fortunately, Shroomish and its evolved form Breloom are a little bit frail, so, you know, you don't really have to deal with them for too long, but you just be wary of Effect Spore. Okay, now, before we go any further, I'm going to grab this item down here, and then I'm going to have a little bit of a look around and see if I can find myself a Zigzagoon. Oh, shoot! Holy crap! Okay, I just barely caught my Zigzagoon. I ran back to Route 102, and wow! I was not expecting to just accidentally run into one of these. Okay, well, if that's the case, I'm going to see if I can not kill this thing, and I'm actually going to try to catch it. Holy crap, I was not expecting this at all. Whoa, okay, well, am I going to use Ralts for my team? No. I mean, the reason I'm not going to be using Ralts for my team is just for the sheer fact that everybody does. Like, almost every single Emerald playthrough I've ever seen, or, you know, Ruby or Sapphire or whatever, so many people use this Pokemon just because it's such an easy one to use. I actually have a different Pokemon, and I mean, I have some other different Pokemons in mind that are honestly a lot less used that I think I would rather use, you know, like, I'd rather show the spotlight of in this playthrough, because, I mean, just go to any other Emerald Let's Play and you'll probably find somebody using a Ralts, so give a nickname to it. I didn't really have anything in mind, so no, let's just keep moving. But hey, I got one, so that's pretty darn cool. All right, we are here. I've got my Zigzagoon. I've got a Ralts now, which is kind of surprising. And we have made it to Petalburg City, which is where my dad runs the gym. All right, let's head on to the Pokemon Center really quickly. I'm just going to heal my Pokemon up before we go any further. I also think the guy standing next to the PC has something to say. I'm going to actually give him a holler here in a second. Because usually they actually have something interesting to say when they're right here. Hello? Oh, trainer, you got a wonderful smile there. I have a hobby collecting the profiles of Pokemon trainers. So how about it? May I see your profile? Yeah. Let's see it then. Okay, that's right. So right here, you can actually change your tagline, which you can use that goes on your profile that other trainers can see when connecting with them. Generation 3, they tried to use a lot of these little different phrases and that catchphrases and little special aesthetic things that could be used to kind of, you know, boost the way you look. It was essentially the Pokemon, like the original Pokemon version of like cosmetics and skins. Like it was the way of making yourself stand out when connecting with other people in a pre-online Pokemon era. And there's some of them are pretty cool. Some of them are kind of dumb, but I mean, like that one in particular, because there was always like set phrases that you could choose from, which was a little bit silly, not gonna lie. I'm gonna get myself a fair few potions here. Well, yeah, let's just cap out at 6. I feel like that's usually good. I usually like to go in intervals of 6 with things in this game, just because, well, typically pertains to having a full team of 6, you know, instead of intervals of 5 or 2 other solid round numbers. Now, there's nothing really going on in any of these houses, although you can see that there are little places that you can actually get across to once we are able to eventually get the Surf HM, so do keep those in mind for later. But all that there really is left to do is to head on into the gym. You're gonna say hi to our dad. Well, if it isn't Levi, so you've moved in? I'm surprised that you managed to get here by yourself. Oh, I see you're with your Pokemon. Then I guess you're going to become a trainer like me, Levi. That's great news. I'll be looking forward to it. Uh-oh, hello. I'd like to get a Pokemon, please. You're, oh, right, you're Wally, right? I'm going to stay with my relatives in Verdanturf Town. I thought I would be lonely by myself, so I wanted to take a Pokemon along, but I've never caught a Pokemon before. I don't know how. I see. He says a lot. Levi, you heard that, alright? Go with Wally and make sure that he safely catches a Pokemon. Wally, here I'll loan you my Pokemon. And he received a Zigzagoon. I'll give you a Pokeball too. Go for it. Can you imagine if he, like, misses on, like, with the one Pokeball? That would be freaking hilarious. Alright, Wally, let's go. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so I guess we're helping this kid out. He's going to catch a Pokemon. Let's see what he finds. Pokemon, yes, Pokemon do hide in tall grass like this. Please watch me and see if I can catch one properly. Whoa! What do you mean, whoa? Oh, whoa, indeed. Well, look at you getting a stroke of luck just like I did a minute ago. Hello. And it looks like Wally's going to get himself a Ralts as well. I mean, assuming he doesn't screw this up. Come on, Wally. Use a tackle. There you go. Attaboy. Attaboy. You know what would make me laugh is if, like, because I believe, yeah, he uses tackle twice. Imagine if, like, the algorithm, like, his luck accidentally made him crit the thing twice. That would be so freaking funny. And then he just kills it. Alright, Zigzagoon's back. Here you go. Do it, Wally. Do your thing. I don't know why you needed to put Zigzagoon away to do this, but go ahead. I like that this is like the game's way of telling you how to catch Pokemon, assuming you haven't already done it at this point, considering how long you've had Pokeballs and how much ground you've already gained, but whatever. And so we did it! Congratulations, Wally. I'm so proud of you. And there we go. I did it. It's my Pokemon. Levi, thank you. Let's go back to the gym. So, did it work out? Thank you. Yes, it did. Here's your Pokemon back. Levi, thank you for coming with me. You two are why I was able to catch my Pokemon. I promise I'll take really good care of it. Oh, my mom's waiting for me, so I have to go. Bye, Levi. And off he goes. There goes that boy. Head for Restboro City beyond this town. There you should challenge a gym leader, Roxanne. After her, go on to other Pokemon gyms and defeat their leaders. Collect badges from them. Understood? Of course I'm a gym leader too. We'll battle one day, Levi, but that's only after you become stronger. Well, I guess I'm looking forward to it then. Someday I'll be able to whoop my father's ass. I mean, I'm not gonna actually... Oh, hello? Sunglasses, man. Are you a Blues brother? Let me guess, from the way you're dressed, you're a Pokemon trainer. Maybe not. Your clothes aren't all that dirty. You're either a rookie trainer, or maybe you're just an ordinary kid. I'm roaming the land in search of talented trainers. I'm sorry to have taken your time. Well, what a douche. Look at that. He just freaking... He doesn't even know me, and he just sized me up instantly and thought I was just, like, I was just lesser than him. What a jerk. Well, whatever. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for this episode of Let's Play Pokemon Emerald. I hope you all enjoyed it very, very much. In the next episode, we're going to start making our way towards Rustboro. Hopefully, we'll get there. That would be ideal. But in the meantime, I hope you all have a good one. And thank you all so very much for watching. And I will see you all then.